Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Nashua's own Mike Kutrobis.
Wow. Okay, so here we are. I started comedy 30 years ago in Nashua, and I have made it to fucking Nashua, so I'm doing good. This has actually been a really big month for me. March this year has been huge. Not only are we filming this today, but March is my birth month and my son's birth month. This year I turned 53. My son turned 5. Here's the thing. I love being a dad, but my son has had it rough. He turned 1 in 2020, literally a week before the world shut down. And I was one of the only people excited. I said, I'm gonna be home. I'm gonna see my kid's first steps. I'm gonna hear his first words. By July of 2020, I could only think of one thing. Please, find a fucking cure. Because I didn't want to be home anymore. Not that I don't love my son, but I am not in the best of shape to be chasing around a small child. I know what you're saying, Mike, you look fucking great. Thank you. But there's a reason you think that. You people are all facing forward. There's a reason there's a reason we don't have people here. Because if we did, this is the shit you would be looking at for the next hour. I am an illusion. But that summer I realized how out of shape I was. So I called my doctor. I said, look, doc, I got a small child. He's starting to walk. He's being active, and I can't keep up with him. I need to come in for a physical so I can fix whatever's going on. And he says, Michael, this is a pandemic. You can't come in, but I can schedule you this afternoon for a Zoom physical. All right? So he sends me the code. I get on the computer, and he goes, look, I know this is a little weird, but because of the pandemic, I've designed an at-home physical to check on my patients. I said, look, whatever you can do to help me out. He says, all right, step 1, find your pulse. He says, don't worry, I'll walk you through it. Take your wrist, put it here, put your fingers right here. Move it around so you feel the pulse. I said, I found it. He says, now I'm gonna time you for 1 minute. I need you to count the beats. I said, I have a question. Am I getting half the fucking copay for this appointment? You are doing nothing. So we go through the whole physical, and he says, Mike, obviously you're not in the best of shape, but the good news is because of the pandemic, you have nothing else to do but work on yourself. So for the rest of the summer into the winter, I want you to take the time, go for walks every day, change your diet, because in March of 2021, you will be 50 years old, and you will come in for a major physical. So work on yourself till then. I got off the computer, I sat back in my chair, and for the next 8 months, I did fucking nothing. I literally sat in a chair with a bowl of food on my stomach and ate like an otter the entire winter. March of 2021 comes. I am now, and if those of you over 50 know that when you turn 50, your fucking warranty expires and everything hurts. So March of 2021 comes around. I have arthritis in my knees. I have a hernia. I got back issues. I got to tell my doctor everything wrong. So I get to his office that day, and he comes in, he starts feeling me up down here for like 10 minutes, which was weird because I hadn't even mentioned the hernia. He said, Michael, we probably shouldn't do this in the waiting room. Follow me around back. So we get to the back room, and look, I've been with this doctor for many, many years. He's an old family friend, so I was very comfortable with him. He says, Mike, we're going to do a lot of things today. We're going to check on your knees. We're going to do some x-rays. We're going to get some blood samples and things like that. But we have to do something because you're 50. It's very uncomfortable. I said, Doc, look, we've been friends forever. I'm a grown-up. I know where you're going. Let's just do this. So literally, I just pulled my pants down. I leaned over on the table. Now, before he goes in, let me explain something. My doctor is 6'11", with a finger like a fucking pool cue. It was pretty big. And he's 72 years old. God bless him. He still practices medicine, but at 72, that finger has arthritis, so I don't know what's gonna happen. So he gets behind me and he gets ready to go in, but then he leans over my shoulder and he says, Michael, we have some medical students that would love to come in and observe this. How do you feel about that? Now, you would think I would say no, but as a comedian in a pandemic, I missed having a crowd, so. So he finishes the procedure, everything seems to be going well. And he says, okay, Michael, he goes, next we're gonna schedule your blood work and we're gonna do some x-rays, but we've already scheduled an appointment for you. It's gonna take place in 48 hours. You're gonna have your first colonoscopy. Now, everyone in here has either had one or knows what it is. But those of you that have never had a colonoscopy are unaware of what is called prep day. Let me explain. You can't eat for 24 hours. You can only drink clear liquids, including 3 bottles of fucking poison. They will make you shit out your intestines. You will then go into the hospital where they will shove a camera up your ass, take photos, and send you home with copies like you want to put them in an album. So I get up the next morning, I buy all my stuff for prep. I buy my chicken broth and made Jell-O and Gatorade, and I got it all ready, and I got those 3 bottles that I will periodically drink throughout the day to help flush the system. So I get up in the morning, I start to hydrate. That's what you do. 6 or 7 hours in, you have to drink bottle number 1. And it doesn't do a lot, but what it does do, it starts to move things around. There's a lot of noises, not a lot of activity as of yet. But something's happening, so you hydrate again. You hydrate again for another 6 or 7 hours, and then you drink bottle number 2. And when you do, you have to make a decision. That when you are finished, you better be 3 feet from a toilet or 3 feet from a change of pants. Because it doesn't give you a warning. Like if you have to go to the bathroom, your body will tell you. Your stomach will rumble, you might fart and go, ooh, I should probably go. Like that's what's supposed to happen. Not when you drink this stuff, it's as if somebody took a fire hose, put it down your throat and turned it on high. That's how fast it comes out. They said, Mike, we need to clean you out. Clean me out. I shit out things I ate in the 2nd grade. There were pieces of crayon floating in the toilet. Every piece of gum I ever swallowed appeared that day. I get through the overnight process. I wake up in the morning. I head to the hospital. I'm in an amazing mood. Why wouldn't I be? I just lost 11 pounds. I get to the hospital, I'm in the parking lot of the hospital, and I'm like, this is the first time I've done this. I'm not really sure what happens. All I know is that I am naked and unconscious, so I'm a little scared. But I also say, oh my God, a lot of people are gonna see things down there, and being my first time, I wanted to make an impression. So I wanted to freshen up before I went in. So thankfully I had a beard brush in my car, so I kind of worked on shit a little bit. So I put some powder in the undercarriage, you know. So once I was all dolled up, I head in. So I get in, I get in there, and they're very sweet to you. They know you've had a rough 24 hours. So they just tell you, they go, look, we need you to get naked, put on the little dress, lay down, and we'll roll you out back. So they get you ready, and they roll you in the back room where your doctor's there to greet you, and he's so sweet. He's like, Michael, you're going to be unconscious. It's going to be okay. It's going to be over in the blink of an eye. You'll wake up as if you had the most amazing nap. And I started to feel good, you know, about myself. And then he turns on the IV and says the creepiest shit you've ever heard. And he says it kind of quietly, which makes it scarier. Michael, I need you to lay on your side. Okay? Pull your knees up to your chest. And then right when your eyes get heavy, he looks at you in the eye and says, don't worry, you'll wake up soon. Are you shitting me right now? That's not, I didn't have a relaxing sleep. I had fucking nightmares. But then it's true, you wake up. You wake up in the blink of an eye, and you did. You took a nap, and you're like, oh my God, it's done. This is amazing. And as soon as you wake up, your stomach's a little, you know, rumbly because you're hungry. You're a little groggy from the anesthesia, but then that's when she sees you, the nurse. And she comes to you like an angel because she has gifts. In her left hand, she presents you a plate of crackers. In her right hand, she presents you a shot of ginger ale. And as she gives you these gifts, she says the most wonderful thing. Sir, I'm gonna need you to fart as much as possible. I thought the birth of my child was the happiest day of my life until my colonoscopy. I have 2 scheduled for April. I'm not even sick. I just want to go there. I don't want to go visit that nurse. I'm married. I got married late in life. I got married at age 45 for the first time. I said, look, all my friends are getting married in their 20s, divorced in their 30s, and second marriage in their 40s. I said, I don't make a lot of money. I'm going to skip the first one and start with the second one. But here's the problem. Here's the problem. I hated women for the longest time. I have a CD that came out years ago. It's horrible. It's horrible, but it's how much I hated women. The opening line in the CD, really, and I feel bad for the girl I was dating at the time. The opening line in the CD is, I have a girlfriend, I fucking hate her. That's how bad it was. But then I met a woman who taught me differently. She taught me that I am the problem. Here's why. Here's why. I'm not afraid to admit this. Here's one of the biggest problems with men. We say stupid things all the time. But it's not our problem, ladies. Here's what happens. Every man in this auditorium is a genius. Brilliant thoughts travel through our heads at all times, but for some reason, by the time it travels down here, it is the dumbest shit you've ever heard. Now, I don't know why it happens. I don't know where the breakdown is. But I understand why it upsets you, ladies. I understand this because you don't expect a lot from us because you've learned. But one of the things you hope for is that if you're having a bad day or you don't feel good, you want your man to come in and say something to make it all go away. And you know exactly what you want him to say. You don't fucking tell him, but you know exactly what that is. Because somewhere in your life, there was a man, he wasn't perfect, but once in a while he said something right. I'm not mad at you, ladies, I'm mad at him. Because if he would have just wrote it down, and then when you dumped him, he went to the next guy and said, best of luck. And if every guy in your life wrote down the times they did something correctly, you could compile all these notes, make a book and hand it to the man that marries you. He will now own the Idiot's Guide to Marriage. And now, instead of opening his stupid mouth, he can check the book first. For example, you women, a lot of you, like to cry for no apparent reason. And men, being the idiots that we are, we always make it worse. We don't mean to, because we'll be in a room, we'll hear you crying in the other room. Why? Because somehow you have a special power that you can cry just loud enough, no matter what room we're in, we will hear it. But what you ladies fail to see is the reaction every man has when that tear hits his ears. We all hear it and we go, oh shit. Because we know we have to go in there. And we know that we're not gonna do anything good, but we want to. We're sitting over here going, okay, we're gonna keep it simple this time. Honey, are you okay? Honey, are you okay? I can do this. The fuck is wrong now? See, I tried. But if I had the book, I would have known what to say. I would have been in this room, heard her cry, and said, I got this. Chapter 7 covers crying. Here we go. If you hear her crying in the other room, say one of these lines before you approach. This is brilliant. I'll just try the first one. It seems the most logical one. Let's see what happens. Everything okay? Nope. Oh shit, number 2, that's probably the winner. Is it something I did? Make sure it's safe. Or how about this? How about there should be a chapter teaching men proper arguing skills? Because here's the thing, men and women are gonna fight, it's okay. It's okay to argue. The problem is a man will always escalate the fight because he knows he's gonna lose. He will make it so ridiculous, you women will just go, I am done with you, and his dumb ass will stand there and go, I won. You didn't. No man has ever won an argument because women remember everything we've done since the moment we met you. Stop it. Gentlemen, what you don't understand is the moment this girl took interest in you, she hit record. And everything you said moving forward went into the cloud. That way the next time when you were fighting, she could go into the cloud, pull out some shit you said 6 months ago, and flick it at you like an angry spider monkey. Here's what happened to me. I had an ex-girlfriend, we were big fighters. I'll always remember this because this was the argument that ruined our relationship. We were arguing about something stupid, but I was making valid points. I got to the point in the argument, I actually stopped and I thought to myself, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna be the first guy ever. There's gonna be statues of shit of me everywhere. But right at that moment, she reached into the cloud, pulled out something I had said 3 weeks ago. I don't even know if I was there, but she's always fucking right, so I had to believe her. But at that moment, I wanted to bring the fight back down to my level. So in my brilliant mind, here's what I wanted to say. Honey, I don't think it's fair that you're using the past against me. That's what I wanted to say. What came out was, you're a bigger bitch than your mother! I lost. But I think one of the most important chapters of the book would help men figure out something scientists have still not understood to this day, and that is times of the month. We don't know when they're coming. We don't know what is going to happen when they get here. So we need the men before us to design some charts and graphs that we can follow. That way, the next time you women are bitchy, which is so rare, we can understand why. We can go, oh, she's in a shitty mood. Let's go to the map. Saturday night, 9 o'clock, the moon is in line with Pluto during the winter solstice. If I calculated this correctly, it says she could be experiencing one of the following: premenstrual, menstrual, postmenstrual, prenatal, postpartum, swollen, bloated. What the f-? You women have 5 good minutes a month. We are never home to see it. I also think another really helpful chapter would be a chapter on how a woman gets ready. Because one of men's problems is we always complain, we don't know when you're ready, you take too long. If the guys before us made a list of each step you took and how long each thing took, we could have the book and literally go, oh, she's on number 7, we got 10 minutes. It's brilliant. So I started to pay attention. But then you women will throw us off because you'll add something in or do something different, which messes up the timing. And one of the things that screws me up is the final move you women do with a perfume. Now, one of them is, I call it the magician. You take out the little bottle of perfume that costs $7,000, and you do that little magician ta-da, where you go. There's another one you do that confuses me. It's this one. You've probably seen it. The hell is that? Someone told me once, they go, oh, it's too strong if you spray it on yourself, right? So I said, okay, I guess if you chase it and scare it, it gets weaker, apparently. But I didn't understand. And because women are smarter than men, I thought that was the proper way to do it. And until I was done a gig one day and I was with some friends and they said, we're gonna go to a bar. I said, let me freshen up. So I took out some Axe body spray and I was about to, shoot myself, and I said, no. That's not how you do it. So in front of my 6 manly friends, I was like, gentlemen, first round of beer on me. I wasn't allowed to go. Thank God my wife is making me a better man. She's teaching me things like she taught me about the we zone. I'll explain. During COVID, my wife comes into me, I'm in the living room. She says, honey, how much money do we have in the bank? I said, I am a comedian in a pandemic. I have no money in my bank. She said, honey, it's okay. I don't think you understand. We're married now. What's mine is yours. What's yours is mine. We share everything. I said, oh my God, I have so much money right now. But being the idiot that I was, I thought I understood how it worked. About a week later, she came into me again. She said, I have a question. I went to have my favorite ice cream. It's not in the freezer. Can you tell me what happened? I said, yeah, last night we fucking wanted some, so we ate all of it. And that's not how it works. My wife likes to ask me questions, not because she wants the answer, but I think she likes to watch me struggle to find it. Here are a couple of times I was stumped. Number 1, I was in the tub one day, enjoying myself. My wife comes walking in, she looks right into the water, she says, honey, why does your penis float? Let me explain. Every man in here knows, they understand, for some reason when we have submerged, the penis will attempt to float to the surface of the water. I don't know if it's part dolphin, I haven't figured out the math. But I sat there for the next hour trying to figure out why it happened. Number 2, and this is when I know she's messing with me. She asked me a really dumb question one day just to try to stump me. She says, honey, I'm curious, when a man sits down to go number 2, if he has to pee in the process, will he stand up, turn around, and pee? No, we tuck it in. It's a pretty simple answer, but I was pissed off that she asked such a stupid question. So I looked at her and I said, you think with my bad knees, I have the coordination mid-poop to stand up, turn around without making a mess, and get it in the toilet? The answer is fucking no. The third one happened kind of randomly. We woke up one morning, Now here, I complain about being older, but I'm not that old. I feel great. Everything seems to still be working, so I'm happy. The one thing I don't like about getting older is I have to pee more frequently. Now, one of the biggest things is usually most men in here, especially myself, when I wake up, that is the first thing I have to do. So here's what happened. One morning I woke up. He woke up too. I roll over, I look at my wife, I notice that she sees it. I'm like, all right, the kid's sleeping, we should be good. My wife looks down and looks up at me and says, how are you gonna pee with that? It's not funny. You women don't understand the difficulties of that time because we stand over the toilet half asleep like this for like 4 minutes. And sometimes we'll try to get tricky. Sometimes we'll have to pull out some fucking move like this. I really do have a kid. That's not a joke. I didn't know if I wanted to have kids. I wasn't sure. I was making up excuses why we shouldn't. I'm like, oh, I'm getting too old, or I don't know if things work down there. But my wife is so smart. She goes, honey, I scheduled us a test. So we brought us down. One morning we went down to the spermatorium, and we went to have some tests done. So we get in there. And the doctor says, okay, I'm going to explain what you have to go through for testing to see if you guys are capable of having a child. And I look at my wife and they go, look, we have to test a lot of stuff on you. We got to check your boobs for production. We got to check your stomach and your uterus. Then we're going to open up your legs with those fucking post hole diggers. And we're going to go inside with some cameras and some cables and Tonka trucks and shit. And we're going to find out if everything's okay. And I'm over here scared going, fuck, what? If you got to do that, what do I got to do? And the doctor said, well, listen, here's your job. I'm going to need you to go in this back room. It's a special room we've made all for you. It's got a TV and dirty movies and a chair. Nobody will disturb you. We're going to need you to masturbate. You're fucking with me, right? I don't know if you guys have ever been in this room, but it's the greatest room ever. It's got like a sink and a toilet, a little table, and it's got like a TV and dirty movies and dirty magazines and a beautiful like black reclining chair. And I'm sitting there going, this is the greatest room ever. I do not care that 700 men have masturbated in that chair. I don't even care. I am disgusting. I am going to sit in it. I sit down in the chair and I take care of business. We put the sample in. I go back about a week later to get the results. And they tell my wife, they go, yeah, you're perfectly capable of carrying a child. I said, okay, well, what's my issue? They said, well, here's the good news. You had a lot of potent sperm. They're just not very mobile. They don't want to seem to swim to an egg. I said, let me get this straight. My sperm can work. They just don't want to go to work. Okay, they're mine. So we decided to do, in vitro fertilization. Everything worked out for the first time. Now, great. So now we're pregnant. I'm going to be a dad. I'm stuck with it now. Now, first 3 months of the pregnancy, I was a champ because I'm an older guy at that point. I've heard all the stories. I know what's going on. Morning sickness, covered it. Cravings, took care of it. Month 4 is when I became an idiot because my wife turned 40 and became a risk. So now we have to go in for a special test where they will go up inside her with a camera to make sure the production is happening. And all I could think is, what if the camera hurts the baby? What if something goes wrong? Then I said, Mike, calm down. With technology, these cameras are probably microscopic, and they're made of bunny fur. And it's going to go in very soft and gentle. But the women in here know that that's not what the camera looked like. They know that the doctor came out of the back room with a wiffle ball bat and a Polaroid camera duct taped to the end. And he was far from gentle. He was swinging for the fences to go into. That's not the weird part. The weird part is my wife didn't even flinch. I said, apparently I am doing no damage in the bedroom, you lying bitch. Oh, Mike, you're so big. I don't think so. everything was going well. Everything was going well. A few more months go by. Now we got to go to class, birthing class. We got to learn how to give birth. So we go to this room for 2 days, 20 people in a circle, 10 couples. And in the center, our instructor, this 55-year-old vegan tree-hugging hippie bitch on her magic carpet. And she hated men. You walked into that room and you thought we were best friends. She's like, oh my God, you guys are a beautiful couple. I see you're coming in as two. I'm gonna show you how to become one. You're gonna become one soul, bring another soul into the world. And I'm going, oh my God, I love this woman. And then for the next day and a half, she spoke to the women only. Ladies, this is how to stretch and breathe. This is how to push. You don't need that piece of shit. This is how to focus. He is fucking useless. You can do this. Right? So at the end of day 2, I spoke up. I go, hey, where's this shit? What is my job? And this is where I realized this woman wanted me to die. Because here was her horrible advice. She said, oh, fine, you want to help. As the man. Here's your job in the delivery room, sir. When your wife is having a contraction, when she's pushing either one, a pain you couldn't handle. So here's what you can do. When you see your wife in pain, I want you to step in front of her, look down, lock eyes, and simply say, honey, relax. I didn't know. But I learned on the day my child was born that my wife can multitask as she pushed out a child and pulled off my testicles at the same time. But we're not there yet. We're at month number 9. And at month number 9, we are a risk. We can't go past the due date because of her age. So they said, you need to go home and try all the household tricks to help the baby come. Eat some spicy food, go for long walks, bumpy car rides, all the bullshit. None of it worked. They said, you have to do the big one. What is it? Sex. With my 9-month pregnant wife. Not that I don't find her amazing. I said, honey, the reason I can't do this is simple physics. Let me explain. Honey, you are carrying a large child. If you've ever tried to balance a bowling ball on a bowling ball, it falls off. I said, honey, I don't want to fall off. And without skipping a beat, she looks at me and says, just lay on your back like you usually do and I'll take care of it. So we get to the bed and I lay down. Hold on, you guys can pretend you're there with me. So I lay down on the bed. My wife sits down right about here. Her legs are over here. Here's her waist. The baby's here. Here are the boobies. Her head's up here. She's fucking tall. So at this moment, I should be excited. I should be going, oh my God, I should look into the eyes of my beautiful wife and tell her I'm here for her. But I can't look up at her. Why? Because my kid is right here. And I swear to God, I see a finger poking through going, don't you fucking hurt me. So I am freaking out. I am freaking out. So I said, listen, you just do what you need to do. I'm going to close my eyes. I got you. So I lay back, I close my eyes, and I feel the magic happening. And all of a sudden, she starts to kiss me on my cheek, which I really love. And I said, wait a minute, how is she kissing me on her cheeks? He's up here. Oh, fuck, the dog came in. So now... So it didn't work. So now we had to go in. We had to go in to get induced. So we went in for the induction. We all went into the birthing room. You've been there if you have kids. She has the beautiful bed. You have the chair. She gets in there and they hook her up. She's got sensors. She's got things in her veins, epidurals. She's all wired up. She sits in that bed for 72 hours. It's okay. I was there too. We're a team. So at hour 72, it hit me why the birthing coach hates men. At hour 72, I woke up in my chair from a little nap. I look over to my beautiful wife, still wired up, and I simply said, honey, I am so fucking uncomfortable in this chair. Somehow we're still married. I don't get it. It's not like I have a good job. We have a wonderful house. We have a wonderful house that we live in together because apparently that's good for the marriage. Here's the thing. I am not much of a decorator. Like before we lived together, I had a small place, and men keep it simple. We don't need a lot of stuff. If we have it, it's something we use. My living room, for example, had 3 items: a recliner, a remote control, and a 72-inch TV. I was fine. My friend showed up, bring your own freaking chair. I got nowhere to sit. But my wife likes to decorate, and it's not that she likes to decorate that upsets me, it's that there's so much stuff in there that I don't understand. My living room, for example, is pages 3 to 37 of the Pier 1 Imports catalog. There is stuff in there that I don't know what it does, but it's okay, because I'm not allowed to touch it anyways. 42 candles. I'm only allowed to light 6 of them. I don't know which ones they are. The rest are decorations. Pictures on the walls of family members, friends, and vacations that she will randomly quiz me on one afternoon. Walking through the house, minding my own business, she'll stop me and go, "It was a fun day, wasn't it?" I don't even know if I was there that day. But I figured out her little game, so I studied. I studied every picture in the house, who was in it, why we were there, when it was. I got good, too. I got so good, I think she got mad at me. Because one day I came home from a gig late at night, and over our mantle was this new picture frame with multiple photos. I'm like, shit, the final exam. But I didn't want to lose. So I said, I'm not going to bed until I figure out every person in every square. And I stayed up until 4 in the morning. And that's when I realized she left the pictures of the people that came with the frame. Let's move on to the bedroom. The bedroom is pretty simple. I don't mind how it's decorated. I'm just happy I can go in. Here's my problem. Why is there so much stuff on the bed you have to take off the bed so you can go to bed? The people giggling have too many pillows. Round of applause. How many people with more than 8 pillows on their bed? Yeah. My wife has 10 pillows. She sleeps with 4. 2 behind her head, 1 between her legs, and a body pillow, because apparently I'm a piece of shit. The dog sleeps next to the body pillow. I sleep on the railing on the right-hand side. Now, when we go to bed at night, I feel like my bed is huge. She's on one side reading a book. I'm over here. I'm on my phone. The dog is at the foot of the bed, curled up in a ball. It's beautiful. As the night goes on, I feel like my bed begins to shrink. And as it does, I feel the covers slowly start to come off. Because she is currently building her cocoon on the other side. Three o'clock in the morning, I am half naked and freezing. All I have to do is reach over and grab my blanket. It's a simple concept. No. Apparently this cocoon has given my wife super strength. Because it's 6'3", 260 pounds, I can't get the blanket back. But I woke up one morning and I had had enough. I was cold. I woke her up and I looked at her and I said, listen, I get cold too. I think it'd be fair if there was a blanket for me in case this happened again. And my wife loves me. So that next night at the foot of the bed, she had put out the spare. Now the spare is not there because it's a warm blanket. The spare is there because it matches the fucking pillows. My spare is an Afghan that her grandmother knitted back in 1910. It is barely holding itself together. And I'm sorry, folks, an Afghan is not the best warming device. It's a blanket made of holes. And it has built up so much static over the past 100 years, if I toss and turn, lightning flies out of the bed. And if, God forbid, he wakes up in the middle of the night, he gets stuck in one of those holes. It's like one of those Chinese finger locks you can't ever fucking get out of. Let's move on to the bathroom. The bathroom is my happy place. I'm in there for long periods of time because I know she will not bother me, because she knows I'm a disgusting human being. And that's one of the few rooms a woman does not want to barge into. But I would like my bathroom to be simple. When I walk into the bathroom, I want the sink to be a porcelain bowl with stainless steel knobs, hot and cold. Not what's in my bathroom. We have a glass bowl and naked angels that vomit water into our sink. When I sit down on the toilet, I ask for one thing. When I go to wipe, I want the toilet paper to roll over the top, not underneath, you psychos. And when I go to take a shower, I want to be able to pull back the one piece of plastic that should be there, the shower liner. It has a function, stops the water. There is no need for what is in my house, which is a 7-layer theater curtain under the tub. I have to turn into Indiana Jones every moment just to maneuver through. I get up in the morning, I go to take a shower, and it's the same. I go, oh, shit. Once I see the opening, I have challenge number 2. The 10 bottles of hair care crap lined up along the edge of the tub. In the order which she uses it, so don't move it. So with my bad knees, I take a running start and leap over the bottles and land perfectly on a pile of Lady Bic razors. It's okay, they weren't open, but that's weird. How are these unused blades? My wife has smooth legs. Oh, I know why they're smooth. She found my razor. Ladies, look, we don't mind sharing. It's part of the marital agreement. But I will ask you a favor for your men. Please give them a heads up when you borrow it this spring to take off your winter coat, for the love of God. Because you dull the crap out of it and he picks it up and pulls off a chunk of face. I'm now in the shower, I'm ready to soap up. All I need is a bar of soap. I'm a bald man. Bar of soap hits me head to toe. There's no bar of soap. Why would there be? There's a new game apparently we play in the shower called The Wall of Sponges. Puffy balls with liquid soap, fuzzy washcloths, no instructions. So I reached for the only sponge that looked like it was built for me. It was a big sponge, big guy. It was about that long, hung by a piece of rope. I didn't know what it did, but what it did do well was get the hard-to-reach places down there. Ladies, I'm sorry, if you have a loofah at home, go throw it the fuck away, because they've all done it at least once. I love that my wife keeps a beautiful house. I really do. I love that I can walk home and there's something nice. The problem I have is her obsession with keeping it perfect. And that reason is because she's a big fan of the Hallmark Channel. Look, I understand why. Every show, every movie ends happily. Every place in the Hallmark Channel is perfect. Every house, every store, every person is good looking. She believes these towns exist. That one day she's gonna open Zillow and go, holy shit, there it is, Hallmark Town. We should go there. And she believes that every morning will be the same. We'll wake up not from the child or the dog or an alarm clock. We'll wake up because the window will open itself and a light breeze will hit us in the back of the head. I will open my eyes in a good mood. I will roll over to see my beautiful wife, her hair and makeup already done, because nobody wakes up ugly on the Hallmark Channel. She will get out of bed, her nightgown fully ironed as if she never slept. She will head down the stairs into the kitchen. The perfect cup of coffee is on the counter. She didn't make it, but there it is. As she sips her coffee, I will leap out of bed. I want to run to be by her side because I miss her already. And I'll be wearing nothing but pajama bottoms because every 50-year-old on the Hallmark Channel has a six-pack. I will get down to the kitchen. I will grab my cup of coffee. She didn't make it, but there it is. I will embrace her as we sip coffee. My son will come out of his room fully dressed on his own. He'll come into the kitchen, climb on a stool, grab a full gallon of milk, pour it, not spill any, and eat the entire breakfast without complaining once. She believes this world exists. Here was my house on Tuesday. My wife woke up 5 minutes before her alarm clock, and she was not happy about losing 5 minutes of sleep. So she starts to toss and turn enough to wake me and the dog up, because if she's up, apparently we're all up. She gets out of bed and starts to fidget with the drawers and opening and closing doors to the point the dog got so scared, he rolled over, looked at me and said, "You are fucked," and crawled under the sheets. She heads downstairs, and I know that I have to get up and go down there, but I can't jump out of bed like the Hallmark guy. Why? Because I have a fat guy dent on my side of the bed. I have to rock and get momentum just to swing my legs over the side of the bed. Once they land, I can't stand right up. Bad knees. I have to pull on compression sleeves just to stand up without falling over. And I get ready to run, but I forgot I am tethered to a fucking space helmet attached to a machine. So I disconnect that, I pull up the breathe right strip, take out the mouth guard, and I head down. When I get downstairs, I don't even go over to her. I stand in the corner. Because right now, all I want is for my son to wake up. Why? Because she likes him. And if he wakes up, she will be in a wonderful mood. But before my son comes out, let me explain something. Everybody in here, if you've had a child or even yourself, got potty trained. One of the tricks you use is you give your child a treat if they poop on the potty. Well, at 5, my son is potty trained, but he still tries to figure out ways to get the prize. So on this particular day, he opens his door. He is buck naked with a handful of shit. Is it his? Is it the dog's? I don't even know at this point. Comes walking into the kitchen, pulls out an old portable potty, looks me dead in the eye, and he goes, "Prize." I wasn't sure to be proud or really pissed off until this happened. I said, "Gavin, that is disgusting. It is smelling up our house." My son pulls out this little can of Lysol he had in his back pocket. He goes, "Dad, I got this." You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much.
Showed me I was somebody's best.